Hello everybody and welcome to a video that I'm doing. I'm doing some commentary on Faeries versus Jund. So we start out with a swamp on the Fairy side and a Raging Ravine on the Jund side, the man land that gains a +1/+1 counter. Um, Andrew plays a Polluted Delta pass, so we got some land go action right now. Super interesting, but not really. So this was at States. And this is my friend Andrew. I know him, and I've played against the Jund player a couple of times, playing some jank stuff. I played the jank stuff. That's what happens. So I decided to record them. They were both cool with it, and this is my. I guess I'm doing some commentary for the first time. I don't know how it's gonna be. You guys are just gonna have to accept it. So Andrew draws a card. I'm just gonna call that guy Jundy because I don't know his name. And Jundy's up a game. That's a Sunken Hollow, folks. And an Ancestral Visions on Suspend. So in 4 turns, he gets to draw 3 cards. So that's a really good start right now. Black Cleave Cliffs comes to play untapped, and we just get a pass from Jundy. Visions ticks down. Probably land go. That's what Faeries does. I could be wrong. This footage was recorded a long time ago. So that's a Creeping Tar Pit. The manland on the other side of the table, we get a Culligan's Command, assuming for disruption and damage. I believe that's what's happened here. So I think Andrew's at 17 right now. We get a land. And Pia and Kieran Nalar gets mana leaked, and then Visions ticks down. So this is a rough start for Jundy, no disruption. That's got to be pretty rough against the control deck, and Andrew's about to refill. He plays a Mutavault and passes the turn. I think I said Jund was up a game at this point, so this is game 2. We get a Liliana of the Veil. And Snapcaster Mage targeting a Mana Leak is going to take care of that. And we'll Lightning Bolt the Snapcaster Mage. Keep the board clear. Ancestral Visions ticks down again. And we move on. He draws a card, plays a Westvale Abbey. Pretty sweet with Bitter Blossom. So Jund draws a card. He's stuck on lands. He hasn't hit his 5th land, it looks like. And Kalidas plays a Raging Ravine tapped. Passes the turn. We got some stuff going on at the end of the turn. A Vendilion Click targeting him. So let's see what he's got. He's got an Abrupt Decay, a Taziger, and a Kitchen Finks. Just so you know, the video is probably going to cut shortly, and that was because I was running out of space. But I don't think much was missed during that time. So now he's trying to make a decision still with the trigger on the stack. Well, the trigger's resolving, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. So it's interesting because Abrupt Decay takes care of Vendilion Click, and with Kalidas on the field, he gets more value out of that. So taking the Taziger here is an interesting choice, but he's got a Murderous Cut for the Kalidas, and now Visions comes off, and he draws 3 cards, and this is where the cut's going to happen. And then draw for turn. And he played his own Kalitas is what happened, and passes the turn. I swear this is a Faeries deck. 2 mana open on Andrew's side, and then we got Jund. Now has 5 lands, even though he's pushing them off the screen. 2 mana, a Terminate on Kalitas, which gets spell snared. So Kalitas is going to stay around for a little longer. Sorry about that glare. Can't really help that, but... So we know he's still got an Abrupt Decay and a Taziger. He cannot do both. Okay, now he can do both. He passes the turn, keeps the Abrupt Decay open. Oh, the Taziger got put on the bottom. He's got a Finks. Okay. And he wants to keep Abrupt Decay open and not play the Finks. Alright. I was like, why would he not play Taziger there? But that was me. So that is Bitter Blossom. Abrupt Decay coming at the Vendilion click to clear up the board a little bit. Kalitas is probably going to get in there for 3. And that is 3 life linking damage. And a pass the turn, a fetch at the end of the turn. So I don't know what the life totals are exactly. And if I do like more professionally made videos instead of just stuff I recorded on the fly, I could have those easily. But we're gonna go with what we're doing today. Little experiment here. I figured this would be better than just hearing all the people yelling in the background and stuff. So he's got a Finks and new card. So let's see what he's got. I think he's only got 2 cards in hand. A Kalitas on the field and a Bitter Blossom. So it looks like we're gonna start with the Finks. Which resolves. Against Kalitas, not really a problem, because it dies once. We get a Disfigure here, showing that off. In response, he's going to terminate the Kalitas, but in response, we get a Spellstutter Sprite for 2, because the Tribal Enchantment, as he points out, counts as a fairy. So that'll counter that, and then he scoops up. So this is Game 3. And I'm going to give you a warning, it doesn't end. And I'll explain why when we get closer to it. But it looks like we're getting a mulligan from Faeries. Jund is keeping, it seems. I think I was just talking about the last time I played him. Because I thought I played him. As we mulligan. Okay, I guess I can explain why it ends. So there's a judge call at the very end, and it stops for a long time, and I'm glad I wasn't recording, because the judge call took like 7 minutes or something. And they got an extension for that, and it really altered the entire game. And it was kind of very crappy. So I guess I'll go ahead and spoil who ends up winning, since the winner is not on video, and the person that wins is Jund, so Faeries does take the loss here, but it was a pretty good game. Pretty interesting matchup. Faeries got a lot of new tech. Jund is same old Jund. Jund just does the Jund thing. Alright, so Jund is definitely keeping, so we get a Scry, so that means Andrew is keeping his hand. Now he's contemplating whether that's going to stay on the top or the bottom, and he keeps it on top. My microphone might have been too far away. We'll see. We'll see if this fixes it. So we're starting off with an Inquisition, so there's the disruption he needed in the last game. We see some pretty lands. Oh, that glare is bad. Okay, Vendilion Click, Ancestral Visions, a Dismember, and some lands. There might have been another spell in there. No, it looks like Ancestral Visions, lands, and Vendilion Click. That is what he's got going on. That Zendikar Watery Grave, I believe. It could be a Polluted Delta. Nah, I think it's a Watery Grave. I have 0 Zendikar lands, which makes me really salty. So we start off with a Polluted Delta pass. So maybe he draw a Spell Snare here, and it looks like that'll be the case. Very, very apparent if he's not playing a Visions on turn 1. So Bob is out of here. No Dark Confidant for this one. And then that'll be a pass to the turn. So we know Jund is not going to be casting Kitchen Finks on the next turn due to no 2 green sources, but I'm sure he still has plays. Well, he's got plenty of plays, there's no doubt about that. So we get a draw. And I'll start explaining the Judge Call when we get closer to it. So we get an Ancestral Visions. And a Watery Grave untapped, taking 2 damage. So a Ghost Quarter comes from the Jund player, so he's lacking a green source as of right now. But he goes ahead and plays Liliana of the Veil. And ticks up, they both discard. A Sunken Hollow is discarded, and a Maelstrom Pulse is discarded. Ancestral Visions ticks down, draw for turn. And that looks like a Sunken Ruins, the Filter Land. Oh, come on, pass me, keep the camera steady. And we get a pass of the turn with 3 mana open. That Liliana sticks around and could cause a bit of an issue. So that Lily ticks up, and we get a Spell Snare discarded and an Inquisition discarded. Down to 1 card in hand, a Vendilion Click comes out, targeting him. He responds by Culligan commanding, dealing 2 damage to that, and getting back Dark Confidant. So he sees Dark Confidant and Terminate, and he gets to put 1 to the bottom. It might be a Dark Confidant. And by might be, I mean probably be a Dark Confidant. There's no reason in letting him get more card advantage off of Dark Confidant when he's hellbent. So then he goes to... ticks down to 2, plays a land, and passes, because he's got 0 cards in hand, I believe. We get a draw for turn. Plays a Verdant Catacomb, so we got a Mystery card and a Terminate. Oh, and that land he played was a Mutavault. Getting a Stomping Grounds. So now he's finally got the green source he's been looking for. So let's see what he's going to play. Probably a Goyf, yep. So we got a Tarmogoyf, which is presenting a clock. Lily might just tick up here, getting rid of his Terminate, keeping Andrew's hand still is empty, but he's just going to play land and pass with one more Ancestral to go. So that's going to let him refuel a bit and maybe dig himself out of a hole. But right now, he's got an Ultimate waiting to be popped and a Tarmogoyf waiting to get in. And Andrew, at this point in time, has nothing. They're both hell-bent. Well, Jund has one card in hand right now, but that'll probably change. So, okay, they're counting up how big Tarmogoyf was, and he's at 4-5. And we're about to get to where the judge call was enacted. And that's because what's going to happen is Jund player is going to Ultimate Liliana, best timing ever, making Tarmogoyf a 5-6, but neither player notes this. And so what's going to happen is they're both going to mark down 4 damage and then realize the mistake later on after an almost irreparable amount of things have happened. So he's ultimating, he's splitting them in 2 piles, so we're going to see a lot of land shuffling here. Trying to determine which 2 piles should be the 2 piles. And, but the Planeswalker goes in the graveyard, making Tarmogoyf a 5-6. Tarmogoyf is going to attack. They're both going to mark 4 points of damage instead. And then I believe we will see a Snapcaster Mage come in, targeting a Dismember, which doesn't actually kill Tarmogoyf anymore. And then that's when they notice the mistake. But 4 cards have been drawn, a Snapcaster has been played, so information has been revealed. So it's just really complicated, and then the judge call just was strange, it was really weird. So it messed it, like, the game was pretty messed up after that. And then, but then eventually after they play it out, after that has happened, the Jund player takes it. From there, no answers to Tarmogoyf come up. But, so we're getting to that moment, so there's not much to talk about, I guess. So we're going to see a snap on that Dismember, taking care of Tarmogoyf, except it does not actually take care of Tarmogoyf. So he pays an extra 1 so he didn't lose some more life. And then he's picking it up and he's putting it in the graveyard, and then he's going to recount it. They're all going to recount it. And then the Planeswalker, and this is where the problem comes in. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys want more of this in the future. Leave a like, subscribe. Thanks for watching.